There we go. I'm a little rusty today
Mhm,
on
mhm.
this digital media thing. So, welcome everybody. It's been a while. I think the last time we did digital media sync was around January, and Ra, I think you were in two of those episodes in
I
January because
was. Got a monopoly.
you have a lot going on. So you co-hosted one,
Mhm.
and then you also brought a guest yourself, and then you were the host. We did a raw takeover of digital media
Oh my
sync, so
God.
that was like a lot of fun.
Mhm.
um, Today is also going to be a lot of fun, and we were just talking in the green room about how we have a lot of things to talk about. Obviously, the main topic being the unprecedented collaboration, NFT art collaboration on Voice HQ with you and nine other artists. And I'm going to bring that up on the screen as well pretty soon so you can talk about it. And I'm also putting the link up so people can take a look at the piece of art. Um, but I want to back up a couple of steps. And the first step being is you have been in the NFT kind of world for
Mhm.
good number, a good amount of time, right? Because
Yeah.
it's relatively new,
Yeah.
and you are like, I'm gonna say you're one of the OGs now, like
Thank you.
months,
We're
months,
proud.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and you've been talking about it and explaining it to people, which leads me to the next point, which
Sure.
is Saturday. And I want you to talk a little bit about this yourself and how you felt
Sure.
about it
Mhm.
and that sort of thing. Was the Diaspora Con. And wow, just in general. But I want to talk specifically about your talk during that, and you talked specifically about what NFTs were, um, how it affects you as a creator, how it affects people as a collector, and that sort of thing.
Mhm.
And you were getting a lot of questions.
I loved it.
It was just like really a lot of fun. So just spend a few minutes talking about that for me.
Sure, definitely. So definitely big shout out to Ife from Letfest for inviting me to speak. And it was a really major talk for me. I think like the biggest one I've had so far. And I just kind of made a decision like I want to do speaking engagements to talk about what I know. And NFTs are the hot thing right now, and I love being a part of that community. So for the actual talk, I think I've given a version of this talk a few other times with Known and Arts Alliance Stratford, and I think for this one, I just kind of like refined it and got a sweet spot. And I really thought about the fact that for Diaspora Con, it was about comics and graphic novels. And for me personally, that's how I got my start into art in general, reading comics and making my own comics for several years, like from grade school through high school and college, and my major was actually cartooning. So I still have like a great love for comics and cartooning, even though I think I consider myself more of an illustrator. So for the actual talk, I started off with cartooning and giving people my background so they could be related to the art that I was doing before NFTs. And then that made, I think, transitioning to the NFTs a lot easier. And I made sure to have the finer points with like the blockchain and the cryptocurrency, but like I didn't want to like overwhelm people with it. So
Right.
my thinking was like, okay, just break everything down as best as I can into layman's terms. And if people still have follow up questions, I can answer those. And then I think the highlights were definitely creating an NFT on the spot so people can see how that process works. Talking about the business side of things, which I do a lot, especially with East River Arts with West River Arts with Eleanor, and just kind of taking all of those facets and everything I've learned and putting it
Right.
into this talk. So by the time I was fielding questions, it was great that people asked me if I did political cartoons. That was like a big thing, and then asking about copyright, how I curate my art to create NFTs because that's a process too. So I could just really tell that people are invested in the talk, and like really it felt like people were chomping at the bit to ask me questions. And then even after my talk, people would just, there was like a line of people that talk to me, and I haven't had like an experience like that before. After a talk, it's like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. I was just happy I could answer everybody's questions to the best of my ability. Some of them were like technical, so I had to like do just a little bit of backtracking to just come up with the answer. But it was good. Like I felt like I was really challenged as well from my audience, which I really couldn't ask for anything better than that.
Yeah, I mean, I attended, obviously, that, but for our audience, I did attend, and I attended the talk as well. And from the perspective of the talk and the questions at the end of the talk, I mean, you really covered a lot as it pertains to NFTs, and there's a lot of moving parts. This is something that I want to cover even more. Um, as time goes on, because even today there was an article in Social Media Week that basically said, I'm going to look it up right now, so it's going to look like my eyes are not going to the camera. But in social media today, there was an article that NFTs are coming to Facebook and Instagram, and then it says whether you like them or not.
Yeah.
So the fact that this is a new form of creating, collecting, viewing, interacting with art, and business, basically, right?
Yep.
So, and I don't think one of the questions may not have been, how does it feel to kind of be like an innovator, an art entrepreneur, so to speak, with this new opportunity, right? Because right now, that's what it is, and you
Sure.
dove right in.
Yeah. I love it. So it's funny. That's something Barb called me from, known. I think one of our last co-working, and she said that she considers me like, an artist, but like an art entrepreneur, because I'm really about the business side of things, and I'm looking for I would love getting in on the ground floor of things and working with it, especially if I see the future in it. So to answer the question, it's similar for me to when I picked up my first iPad and I started drawing and illustrating on that. And a lot of people were like, well, it's not going to take off. I'm not sure about that, blah, 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 blah. But I was like, no. Like, just wait for it. Like, I'm going to get a lot of traction and mileage out of this. And, it's going to be good for the whole field. And it has been. And that's the way I feel about NFTs, being on the ground level, that it enables me to not only talk about what I'm doing and educate other people on business and the artistry, and then talking about like the benefits for collectors as well, getting in on the ground floor too, and then having like these pieces that can, increase in value over time based on the cryptocurrency.
Right.
And it feels good to have something new to research and put into my work, because I think for me, part of the struggle with being a digital artist, it was like, I started out with a traditional background in cartooning and oil painting, and getting into like the gallery spaces as a digital artist. Like it's possible, but like it was always like a little trickier, because like what's really considered an original in digital art, like it's all additions at the end of the day. And just kind of educating people on that, it was like an extra hurdle. Whereas with NFTs and creating this artwork on Voice, if somebody wants to buy something from me, they can just use a credit or debit card as a collector. And from the artist facing perspective, they can get a crypto wallet. And, that's actually not that difficult to do. You can use Coinbase or something like that. And Voice makes it so when you're earning profit, you're getting, the cryptocurrency called USD, which is like, equal to the dollar. So I get that, I collect that, and I'm able to transfer it to dollars. And I don't really have to worry about things like Ethereum or Bitcoin or anything like that. That's cool, but like me being the type of artist that I am, I want to be accessible. Like I want my work to be accessible. I want my price points to be accessible, and I want my collectors to feel like they're comfortable getting involved in the process. And that was one of the main things that was my takeaway after I did this talk at DiasporaCon. People of all ages were coming up to me and telling me that they felt comfortable either looking into crypto art, investing in it, and that they had greater understanding. So I think for me, I always support the kids, the youth, the teenagers, and everything. And I also realize that's something that's like more their speed. and having somebody like come up to me in their 50s and 60s saying that it was easy to follow and easy to understand, I was like, that really means I did my job, because there's a lot of different things to break down. And I
Right.
know, my dad, for instance, he isn't really too tech savvy, and I can explain it to him in a way like where he'll get it. So that's what it's really all about, from just making this entire market and this entire process accessible, because I want my fellow artists to be successful too.
Right. And I think, um, one of the things too that I think I've heard you say too, and I think we're going to start moving into the voice space, is that um, there's probably not too many platforms as of
Right.
yet, correct?
Right. Yep. Just a few.
Um, so I think, well, I remember one of the things that happened was when you spoke at Known and you had gifted everybody a in that particular an NFT in that particular presentation.
Yep.
And so it's like, oh, we get to see what the process is like
Mm-hmm.
to sign in, to pick up that NFT, and to kind of tool around in the space and just see like
Mm-hmm.
how things are done.
Yeah.
So I think that picking up, it's so important again, and this is just like any platform, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
so important to pick a platform that is user friendly on many levels.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yep.
know, in this case, you showed how you created an NFT in like under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I didn't have a stopwatch,
It was
but it,
quick.
it was just like, and then I bring this over here, and then I do this, and you're explaining, and you haven't even gone through the steps, and it's like, okay, here's this thing, and then click here. I was like, that was really fast. Like that happened easily for you, and then also from the perspective of those who are viewing and collecting, how they can find you and that sort
Mm-hmm.
of thing.
Yeah.
Um, so tell me, I know we talked about the platform, so we're getting closer and closer to the actual thing. Tell me a little bit about the
Good.
platform. And I think tell me about the platform from the perspective of, um, how they're different in the way that they work with the community.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's really good. So Voice is an amazing platform, and what makes me want to come back to using the platform is just their amount of engagement and their amount of support for the artist community. Like, I really have this feeling that they care about the community, and they just keep showcasing that through their actions. They're one of the first platforms to feature me, and they featured me pretty quickly too. After I just started creating a few pieces, and then I would share on Twitter, and building this community on Twitter, tagging them in posts, and then just they've been like really responsive. Like, I started with them in their beta program, and if ever like there were bugs that were happening and stuff like that, I could just reach out to them, and they'd be like very responsive. Especially, there were a few things that came up when I would receive payment and I'd have to transfer it to Coinbase and then out of my account. There was like one day that didn't work or something, and the help team just like they moved really fast on it. And like, oh well, if you try this, and like we're dealing with the bugs and everything, and they were just on it. So I really appreciate that. Not only is the actual website and everything user friendly, but the team is like super dedicated, and they have like these talk spaces on Twitter where they'll either have somebody from the voice team do it, or they'll empower another creative person to lead these kind of discussions. So they're really super supportive of the entire NFT community, and they take care of their own. They take care of their artists that they have. Well, I really like what they're doing for Earth Month. Is I forget who exactly they're partnering with, but for every NFT that's created, they're planting a tree to go along with that. Like, just absolutely cool. Like, it's so cool what they're doing.
So I'm going to pull up there we go, the image on the screen, I hope. and then have you just kind of walk us through what they're
Sure.
actually doing.
Hmm.
And it's going to take me a little bit of time, perhaps,
All good.
again, because yeah, it's been a few months.
Hmm.
Oh, I do not need an extra camera. That is definitely not what I need. Well, maybe I do need. I just want to do the link. All right, I guess I'm not bringing it up. All right. So the link, however, is in the comment section. Um, Up, and it looks like somebody grabbed one too over the past couple of days. There's. Oh, okay. Walk me through it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm starting. I'm like, no. You tell me. I don't need to tell you.
You can tell me if you want. So I was on Twitter one day, and I'm very active in the NFT community on Twitter. I have a lot of Voice HQ friends that are putting out artwork and looking to do things with other artists. Voice makes it easy to collaborate with other artists, which I absolutely love. And this was a feature that I started using with a friend of mine. Her name is Dana Powell Smith, amazing artist, and we did a like an abstract kind of collaboration. And I asked Voice if they could enable that feature on my account, and they did it. So I was able to create this piece of art, and then kind of add her as a co-creator. And then so whenever we sell editions of this piece, I get 50% and she gets 50%. So I was already familiar with that concept. So a friend of mine put out like a call to artists saying like we want to do the biggest collaboration on Voice HQ to coincide with Earth Month. I was like, oh, all right, well, it sounds interesting to me. Because I think when I first started in the NFT space, I was thinking like, okay, like maybe I'll make some friends and everything, get my art out there. And now I'm like, all right, well, I want to build like this big community of artists, like where we can all support and help each other. So it seemed like a good, evolution of that. So I got involved with their Discord channel, and then so we're exchanging messages back and forth, coming up with ideas on just how we could approach this piece. And it started with a single image, which is the forest, and we all added different elements to it based on like what our skill sets were. And I think for me, somebody just said to me like, I want to like create something for my piece that wasn't going to like be intrusive or get in the way of anybody else wanting to add to the piece, but kind of make something so like when you see it, you have something to connect with right away. And that led me to illustrate the deer that's in the bottom left corner of the illustration, like that's looking, right at you. And I wanted to have, just that instant connection so that you can look throughout the rest of the piece and find something else to connect with. And I was one of the first artists to, contribute something on this. So for me, it was important to kind of like make my statement within the piece while supporting everybody else too. Oh, I think you're muted, Julia. Yeah, you're muted.
You
Okay.
had you had 9 other artists, and then you had mentioned that you had worked with an artist, and
Mhm.
then how many did you not? Most of them you did not work with as of yet, right?
The ones on this current collaboration?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was all a first time. Like I had known
Okay.
through Twitter and fans of the work and everything. But yeah, this is the first time we have all worked together on like this kind of massive project. And we're also on the featured page. We're one of the featured NFTs for Earth Month. And just as of this morning, we sold another edition. So we have 8 editions left.
I
And I got like a
saw.
joke, like every time I've been on like a digital media sync or whatever talking about NFTs, I've happened to sell an NFT that morning. So
Right.
thank you, Julia.
And another thing that happened. Um, so so here's the thing, because you had talked about this in your presentation as well.
Mhm.
So can we kind of just walk through first, um, how you decide how many editions
Mm-hmm.
are sold, or the collaboration decides on the number of editions, how
Mm-hmm.
you priced it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then, in this case, there are 10. So
Mm-hmm.
there's 8 out of 10 left.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so then where do y'all go from there?
Oh yeah, all great questions. So for the amount of editions, we decided that on the Discord channel, and we wanted to make it like a premium piece. So we didn't want to go too high, but we wanted to give
Right.
people enough of a chance to grab one, should they choose to do that. So I think 10 ended up being the sweet spot, and then there were 10 people on board, so we charged $100 for each edition. So like nothing like too inaccessible, but at the same time like it's premium. And so we just split that 10 ways. And I think for me, just the notoriety involved behind this piece, it was like more important than the price point. Like we could charge like a lot more if we chose to. But like I think for all of us, it was all about getting out there, getting featured, and having this accolade. Like we're the first one to have 10 people on a piece, and everybody else follows us, like hopefully we'll get inspired and do something else as well. But like just to have like that number one and to be featured, just kind of all coincides with us building this big community on Voice. And then where we're going next, we're keeping the Discord channel open for more collaborations. So I anticipate, I'll be involved in like the process, moving forward. And there it is, Earthly Wonders. And you're muted again. There you
I
go.
was afraid that like once I shared my screen that I was gonna have like that forever screen again. That you're gonna hear my voice instead of your voice. And that would
Yeah.
have been fun, for at least for me. So I'm gonna try to, now that I have it up, I'm actually going to try to increase the size of the actual image.
Mm-hmm.
So can you see that now as a larger size or no?
Still the same.
All right, let me see what
Oh,
happens.
there you go. You got it now.
Yeah. So can you just go over again what the pieces are now that we have a visual representation
Sure.
available for us?
Definitely, definitely. So I started with the deer, who is on the left side, left hand side, just, yep, looking towards you. That was the second piece that I did, what was my turn to go. Uh, there are some birds flying around in the background. If you look towards the upper left,
Right
like
here.
shadow birds, yep. And there's like, I think a blue jay or something tucked behind the vines. You might not be able to see it at this point, but it's there. And then towards the earth, the globe, to the right of that, there should be a silhouette of a moose that I did too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So my recommendation to everybody who's watching is to go to the link that is in the comment section on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, and you can play a little game and be like,
Yeah.
find the pieces of art that Rod did.
Yeah. Like, where's Waldo?
So where's the bluebird? Where's the birds in the background? The moose,
Mm-hmm.
the deer. The deer is a good easy one to start
Yeah, the deer is easy. That's like a giveaway. That
with.
one's a little trickier.
But the other thing too is it's just like it really is a gorgeous, generous piece as well. It's very, very colorful. Um, I love the give and take that's in there,
Mm,
um, because it doesn't look overwhelming.
great.
So
Great.
yeah, so that's interesting too, right?
Mm-hmm.
How you all took a piece of art and kind of passed it back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
and were able to bring your own design elements in, and
Yeah,
yet there's nothing that's really overwhelming.
that's really great to hear. So glad that. I think
No,
we're
it's
all
like
generous
this
with the
belongs.
space. I think we're all very generous with the space. Like it really worked out because like nobody. I mean, we kind of talked a little bit about what we might do, but when we actually got the piece and what was actually delivered, like it kind of differed. but it differed in like a really good way. It's like, oh, well, that works with the overall composition. Like that's really cool. So like there was kind of like this, I don't know, like it was unsaid, even though like we were discussing how it could look and everything. But like when we got the actual piece, I love that people were able to like add their own spin to it, and it just everything was harmonious. So like this really great collaboration, so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a total blast to do. When this piece is going to be up for how long? I think you might have said, but
Well, we're gonna keep it up until we sell the rest of the editions. It's
okay,
we created it for Earth Month, and we're featured as a part of this campaign. But yeah, we're just gonna keep promoting it until we sell the rest of these editions.
nice. Could be today. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Let's go.
Get on that. Let's get it sold before. How many days are in April? 30.
Yeah, that's a good goal. Just sell
we
the
have
rest for
we have
Earth Month.
eight
Let's go.
pieces, 8 more pieces in 5 days, and it's for 10 pieces that are available. That's like a very
It's
good price
feasible.
point.
It's a
It's
feasible
very
goal. There are
reasonable.
like 10 people on the team, so we'll each put out a few tweets on Twitter. Pool our resources, get them sold.
So, question for you then: do you think A, that you'll collaborate with the same people again, or B, uh, feel as adventurous and comfortable to collaborate on such a multifaceted canvas again?
Okay. So yes to both. I definitely picture myself working with these people again. Just they're very personable, very friendly, very inviting. It was just easy to be in that space and create this artwork, and just develop friendships and rapport with people. So it's just really really cool. And in terms of like other collaborations that I want to do, my friend, and I think you met him at the wedding. He was my best man, John Paul Germain.
Right.
He's a fellow artist, based in New York, and we have been talking about collaborating for a while now. And he's also on Voice HQ. I helped him curate his collection of art that he has on there. So I definitely want to do a piece with him. And then I am working with another artist. His name is Matt Gold, and I curated and collected his pieces on Voice and his other platform called Rarible. His series is called Moods, so we're looking to get visibility on that too. But yeah, it's nice to be in these different spaces and helping people be successful. And I know the technical aspects of it. Other artists might not want to deal with those technical
Right.
aspects. So there's like multiple ways of collaborating where I can work on a piece with different artists, or I can take an NFT collection and put that up for sale on behalf of another artist.
Yeah, it's really fascinating, and it opens up space and doors in so many different ways.
Mhm.
Because I think every time we have a conversation about this or I hear you talk about it, um, there's always something new to learn. And
Yeah.
even not as a creator, um, it's still super exciting.
Yeah, it's really cool to just be able to wear all these hats.
So we got done with that like really quickly.
Well,
But
it's us.
we just we just get
I'm
things
just
done.
we've done this before.
It's just like just get to right to the heart of the matter. And
Yeah, let's get it done.
so I just want to let everybody know. I want to do a little summary, and then I want to let you pitch something else that's happening rather quickly as well.
Oh, definitely,
So
definitely.
first, I want to just let everybody know once again. I put Roz Page um, on Voice in the comment section. So it's Roz artist page, and then it's the collaboration page as well. So this unprecedented collaboration of 10 artists for Earth Month. Look in the comment section for that. If you feel so inclined, go ahead and purchase a piece. It's very,
Yeah.
very reasonable, and it's a gorgeous piece of art as well. I also wanted to mention, which I failed to mention when I introduced you, which I didn't even really introduce you. We just went right into the conversation.
I think I've been here enough times, but yeah, it's all good.
It's like, oh, you should know him by now. All right.
The guy in the suit, the
You
glass.
know,
Yeah.
oh, I like totally lost my train of thought. This is what happens. Um, but I also wanted to make mention or let you make mention your role here at Known as well. What you are bringing to the table here.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I love working with Known in this like formal capacity. So really great. The role is I'm the creative consultant in residence at Known, and I am creating events with Known. I'm going to the co-working every Friday. Just letting it be known that I'm here to collaborate and create. Whether that is NFTs, consultation, social media marketing, management, and just connecting with people. Like it's been a lot of fun. So the main role, while I'm at Known, is to create these events. We have one coming up on May 6th. It's part of the Known After Dark series, and it's going to be menswear in a post-Zoom age. I love dressing well. I love the education behind it, and really it's about. And when we say menswear, it's about men and women. I know influencers, bloggers in New York that are women, and they do like menswear extremely well. So we just want to invite like people of all ages, to just come. I mean, not all ages because there is whiskey. So
Right. Yeah, I was going to say,
people of
gotta
all
break that up a little bit.
That's what I meant. Backgrounds, yes. So there's going to be a cocktail class. Thankfully, we had Anchor Spa. They're going to be coming to Known to run that. So really looking forward to that. And the last thing I'll mention about this exciting event. Last two things. It's going to be myself on a panel. We've got Malachi from Arts and Ideas, amazing dude. We also have Quan Grant, who is from the cohort from Knowmpreneurs. He's amazing as well. He's got a lot to talk about with his business, just how he approaches menswear and how he styles people as well. We just had a conversation where he styled this lady that he knows in like menswear attire because that was her style. So kind of like pivoting, what you wear and all that, which is really cool. And then we also have, who else is on there? We have Jason Watts from Jazzy's Cabaret. So that'll be the panel. And then to follow that, we'll have the cocktail class for an old-fashioned cocktail, courtesy of Anchor Spa. So we'll have that going on. Tickets are going to be $20. And we're still looking for sponsors, too. So if you'd like to kick in and sponsor the event, you can reach out to me or you can reach out to Known Co-working and take it from there.
Wonderful. Well, I just want to thank you so much once again. Whenever we speak on Digital Media Sync, it's always super fun and a lot of information and education.
Thanks for having me.
And I know we're planning on having another one pretty soon again. So we'll keep an eye out for that on the calendar as well, everybody. Yeah. You can find this particular episode on Facebook, on YouTube, and I'll be throwing it onto the nhvknown.com website as well. So once again, Ra, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Julia.
All right. We'll see y'all later.
Peace.
Bye.